If you can make personal contact with the people on Fiverr, and Fiverr does allow it under certain circumstances, you can dramatically increase your chances of getting orders and repeat business. I'll talk about it next.
The Gig Doctor.
It's Dane Scott, the Gig Doctor from thegigdoctor.com. Just came out with a brand new newsletter. I'll tell you how you can get it coming up. Like, subscribe, follow along. More of these will be coming out all the time and no charge. Same thing with the newsletter. Okay, what it amounts to is this. You know, when we're contacted on Fiverr, somebody gives us an inbox message and says, hey, how much would you charge for this service? Well, that's really just kind of the beginning of the process. And if we just say, okay, it would be this amount, that's fine. If you think that they're really kind of sold on you already, just send them the quote. In some cases, the quicker you can get the quote to them, the better chance you have of getting the job. But if you get the sense that this is a client, kind of special client, someone who you wouldn't mind working with a lot because they seem particular about getting a great job from you, well, number one, don't be offended by that. Just means this is a quality client that knows what they want. I'll use the example of voiceovers because that's what I know best and I'm most fluent in, but you could probably apply this pretty well to a lot of other kinds of circumstances depending on what you're selling on Fiverr. But what I do is this. If what they're communicating suggests to me that this is that kind of a client, and especially if they happen to be online right at that moment, well, there's a special feature available even right in the inbox for us. It's right down at the bottom, and it looks like a camera. If you click on that little camera icon down there, it initiates a Zoom session with them. It's a recorded Zoom session. Fiverr automatically records it just to kind of as an assurance that we're not going to just get with them and say, yeah, we can do this, but let's go off platform, because then I can charge you less or then I can make more or whatever it is. They want you staying on Fiverr, and that's only fair since they found you through Fiverr. But what I would do would be to just in the inbox there, while I'm having kind of a real-time conversation with them, I would say, let's just jump in on Zoom together for a moment and we can discuss this, and I can even give you some reads and see if we can nail down the exact style you have in mind. And they'll either say, oh yeah, that's cool, that's great, or they'll say, gee, I'm not sure how to use Zoom, or I don't have Zoom or whatever, in which case we just go back to the chat there in the inbox. But if they are willing to do Zoom, as one of my clients did today, we can go from being a mystery to them to the one that they have real confidence in because they've spoken to us. The way I handle calls like this is when we connect, first thing I do is to cheerfully and in a friendly way greet them, joke around a little bit, get them comfortable and relaxed, and then to say back to them what I suspect they're looking for based on our conversation so far, and then ask them to confirm if I'm on the right track. They'll then either do that or they'll say, actually, what I'm looking for is more like this. After we've gone through that, I'll then open up the copy that they've shared with me and I will do a read. And then I'll say, how close is that? And they'll maybe say, that's pretty close, but we'd like it to be a little more this way or that way. So then I will confirm back to them in my own words what they've said to be sure that I'm on track with what they were asking for, and then I'll do another read. I'll give you the example of today. The client said that they wanted something that sounded kind of like Tom Brokaw, kind of reporter-like. But in follow-up notes before we got together, he said, but we don't want it to sound too officious or too like formal or networkish. So based on that, what I did was I fine-tuned this down for them and said, it sounds to me like what you want is someone who's concerned, who is talking about something they feel is important. So it's serious, but it's not like real official and announcery. It's more like just a concerned person. He said, yeah, that's it exactly. So based on that, then he said, just a second, let me bring my boss over here. So I said, uh-oh, tension's on. And we both laughed. And then he got his boss on the speaker with us. And then I explained to him what we had discussed so far and the conclusions we had come up with to this point. And I said, let me give you another read now that's more along those lines. And so then I just did the read again. And I did it in this kind of a serious but conversational way. like, here's the situation. This is what has got us concerned, blah, 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 blah. And I got done and they were like, Yahoo, wahoo, that's exactly right. So it was very, very rewarding. And so I said, okay, then I'll send you an offer just after we get done on our call here. So I sent the offer and boom, within seconds, they had placed the order and I got a nice order for what ultimately turned out to be a kind of an e-learning training script for staff at a company. Would I have still gotten the order if I hadn't done that? I don't know. But I do know this, that when we got done and the guy placed the order, in the order comments, he said, based on the look on my boss's face, I have a feeling we're going to be working with you a lot. So what does that tell us? It tells us that this human interaction, where I was able to express my own concern about getting this exactly right for them, to communicate clearly with them and make sure that I understood their needs and then delivered on that with the read that they were looking for, made a big, big difference, not only in getting that first order, but potentially, if I do well on this first one, maybe turning them into a regular customer. I've just launched something new. It's called the Fiverr Front Page News newsletter, and it's just going to go out through email. Honestly, I don't know how often yet, at least once a month. Maybe it'll be like one main newsletter and then maybe some supplements like this just in, a bulletin, breaking news, that kind of thing. Also, I'll mention things that I have for sale. I'll offer some coupons on coaching and Gig Doctor and different courses and stuff. All you have to do to sign up is just hit the link that's down in the show notes for today. Pop in your name and email address and you'll be on the list. I don't share the list with anybody. It'll just be between you and me, and I'll make sure that everything that I send out is something that is useful, no fluff. So sign up if you'd like. In the trailer here today, links to a couple other videos that I think you might like, and I'll talk to you next time.